Hello, I am Mike. Today, you're going to hear my personal story which I don't like to speak of. When I was 10 years old, my family moved into an old, creaky house on the edge of town. It was a big place with too many rooms and not enough furniture to fill them. The floors were always cold, and the wind howled through the hallways at night. But it wasn't the wind that scared me. It was the mirrors. My room was at the end of a long corridor on the second floor. It had a large antique mirror hanging on the wall opposite my bed. My parents said it was a family heirloom, passed down from my great-grandmother. They told me it was valuable, but I hated it. There was something about it that made my skin crawl. The first night in the new house, I had trouble sleeping. Every time I closed my eyes, I felt like someone was watching me. I kept the light on, staring at the mirror. That's when I saw it. A shadow, darker than the night, moving behind me in the reflection. I spun around, but there was nothing there. When I looked back at the mirror, the shadow was gone. I told my parents, but they just brushed it off as my imagination. It's just the stress of moving, they said, but I knew what I saw. Every night after that, I would see the shadow. Sometimes it would just stand there, unmoving. Other times, it would slowly inch closer, its form becoming clearer. It looked like a person, but its features were distorted, like a twisted version of myself. One night, I woke up to a cold chill. The air was freezing, and the room was darker than usual. The mirror seemed to glow with an eerie light. Couldn't move, paralyzed by fear. The shadow was there again, closer than ever. Its eyes, two black holes, seemed to bore into my soul. It raised a hand, and I felt a pressure on my chest, like it was trying to pull me into the mirror. I don't remember how long I lay there, unable to breathe, until finally, the shadow vanished. I bolted out of bed and ran to my parents' room, tears streaming down my face. They finally believed me when they saw the bruises on my chest the next morning. Bruises in the shape of a handprint. We moved out of that house soon after. My parents said it was for a better job opportunity, but I knew the real reason. They didn't want to admit it, but they were scared too. The mirror was left behind, covered and locked in the attic. Sometimes I wonder if it's still there, waiting for its next victim. Even now, years later, I can't look at a mirror without feeling that same cold dread. I see shadows out of the corner of my eye, and every night, I sleep with the lights on. I know the shadow is still out there, somewhere, waiting for the chance to drag me back to that house of horrors. So, if you ever find yourself in an old house with an antique mirror, be careful. Don't look too closely, and whatever you do, never turn off the lights. Because once the shadow has seen you, it will never let you go.